Hello everyone, this is going to be another long and boring video, so yes, I did warn you. Now without further ado, we can actually get started. So, I've been doing lots of, really lots of real estate properties, web scrapers in the past few years. And every time I am requested to create a new one, I essentially reusing, I don't know, maybe 90% of the source code that I've written previously. And this always works. So within these years, yeah, the structure showed to be like a really stable one. So I keep reusing things over and over again, and this gets a little bit boring. And I thought maybe I could have somehow automate this process. This is one question. Another question is scrapers are getting broken very quickly if they change something on the website. So another category of requests I'm getting is to repair the scraper. In this case, I need again to adjust the source code to separately work on the data extraction logic, on the crawling logic, or something else. So it would be really nice to have like the development environment being separated from the production environment. On the one hand, with all the separated scripts, and then eventually, when I repair the scraper, it would be cool to have a single file deliverable like I always do. That's my sort of a signature thing. So I don't like delivering many files when it's just a single scraper that scrapes one single website. So it's really comfortable to have a single file because sometimes, and that happens quite often, when clients want to run my code via the Jupyter notebook. So having many files is not an option. So deliverable should be one single file. Now, let's get into the particular details. So I want to show you what I'm talking about. And probably then I would just start working on this, upgrading new um, project on GitHub. And this is going to be open source because, yeah, I'm not open sourcing my like private scrapers that I'm making for my clients. So you don't have access to those. But with this tools, they can be done open source. And I think with these tools that we're supposed to be creating, that I'm supposed to be creating this video, this might make your life a little bit easier. Although on the other hand, I don't really want to fool myself thinking like somebody's actually going to be using this, because this is very personal, and essentially I'm doing this for my very own self. So I don't really expect you guys to use this, but just as a general consideration, you may be interested sort of having a look at this, and this might, if this makes sense to you, then good. If not, then I don't care, because I'm doing this for myself. So anyway, let's have a look at the basic structure. So this Autodom web scraper, the Polish real estate properties web scraper, is the latest. Like this works the best essentially. And I just want to quickly mention so which parts are always the same and which parts are being changed. So the structure for the name, base URL, headers, and custom settings is always the same. These locations, I don't even remember what is this, to be honest. So these parameters are always the same. We just may check, we may change the, obviously we may change and we will change the base URL, that's for sure. Then the start request is the entry point with creating a file name. Also, it might take some parameters, so we can handle that. Then it creates the columns, because initially I was doing like JSON format storage, but now it's more likely CSV. And with the CSV, we want to have the um, column names being written to the file before anything else, and we want to rewrite, and then we will be appending to the file. So that's the standard thing. Current page counter, we don't even have the current page as the earlier I've been using the current page as the self current page, the inner field of the class, but now essentially this is not. So just being recursively passed to the uh, following callback function, like pass links in this case. So yeah, this happens once, and then pass links. This is the main crawling logic. So what we do here, we do extract the file name, the current page. Then, okay, what is this? Data. Okay, links is just being taken from the data. So essentially, we need to have the logic to have the card URLs. So those H references, those links were supposed to be crawling recursively through. So just to give an idea, so if we have, let's do this artisan website. They all are very similar. Essentially, they all are the same, very, very same. So, so let's say we have some whole Poland for sale, and this are the search results. So we need to extract these links, and whatever base URL we are putting into whatever website, real estate properties website, would have this list of these links. So we need to extract these links. So that's the first task. Once so these links are stored as the list. So these two lines are responsible for this. So these two lines would always be different. So these lines are being changed. Then this is the standard part, so we just recursively crawl through them and calling the callback function pass listing, so that then it recursively navigates to, say, this link, and from this link it needs to scrape all of the data available, and this again is going to be obviously different because every single website may have some different selectors. Obviously, they might be HTML selectors, or most likely, most common thing is to have the JSON, huge JSON data set within the HTML response, by the way. Very rarely it occurs that you may need to make a separate request to hidden API, for instance, but in most cases that's just a matter of having the JSON as the within the response HTML. So if you like do this view page source, then most likely here you would have the JSON. So if I just find then JSON, yes, application JSON, and yes, essentially we have all the data being in here. So it's like one liner, but yeah, all the data is there. So I can easily extract the data later on. So hopefully that makes sense. So we have those parts that are similar. We have those parts that are changing. So I want to separate the environment for development purposes, and also eventually I want to have a sort of a build system that would generate a source code like this, and with all the updates that has been made. And again, when I'm running this, say something is broken in the pass listing, then what I need to do, I need to have a logic to first to store the response, right? Then I need to load this from the file, and when I load this from the file, I don't have things like file name because I just fake the request object here. I just need to separately call pass listing. So I need to comment out this lines. I need to call this separately, pass listing here. I need to add the line to read data from file, not from the response that as the recursive callback gets file when program comes in. So I really want to separate all that. And I don't know, probably I could even start from building some separate modules. Maybe. I didn't yet think about this, to be very honest. I'm just trying to figure out what is similar here, what is not similar. So anyway, probably these are two different tasks. So the task to generate the eventual source code is one task. Another task is to have the separate modules to be able to work out separate parts of the web scraper. And probably one last thing I forgot to mention, that within the pass links, we also have the logic to recursively crawl through the pagination, through the different pages that we have there. And to make this happen, we need to provide the extractor for the specific selector, whatever it is, to provide us with the number of the total pages. So that's another thing that changes all the time. So this changes, and essentially this extraction logic at the end. So this entire function is also changing all the time. The rest is so the same. So what we can do, we can either try to create a draft for a scraper, um, and then maybe having some, I don't know, maybe we could use some formatting so that I could put things into it. Or maybe I could just have the lines that would be then replaced using the function, like the sectors to get replaced. Also, I don't want this whole lot of commentaries because, yeah, essentially clients don't really care about this. I was that relation to provide all of these commentaries came from those times when I was making tutorials on how to make web scraper.